So it's blowing a northwesterly, Steve.
Yeah. I mean, and look, that's got to be fish. It is fish.
Yeah.
All right.
We can see those fish out
Braid
there.
versus mono.
Oh, actually, they're kind of. I'm going to walk out over here.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to reach them from there.
Because I'm using the mono. Let's see if I can get out there. What are they doing? Oh, I'm on. Oh. It didn't take long. I'm just going to wade back to shore now. Hey Steve, first cast. This feels pretty heavy. I just waded out on this sandbar to make it a little bit easier to access a school of fish that's there, and I landed pretty much in the zone. I'm using monofilament and Steve is using braid. He can get further distance, however I still managed to land in the fish. This is interesting, this hasn't jumped out of the water yet. I'm gonna have to work my way over here, I think, because there's actually a bit of current pushing across this sandbar.
Yours looks like a good one, Rog.
Yeah, I know. It hasn't jumped yet.
No. Roger hooked up straight away, so I fired mine out there and I'm in as well. Oh, no, still got him. Mine's not as big as Roger's, I don't think. That's a beaut fish. Oh, good tailer. Is that, no, salmon.
Salmon. They're quite a good size.
Yeah.
Have you hooked up again? Yep. I had two on.
Did you?
Yeah, I've lost my bottom hook.
Oh, well, you might have had a tailer on the other one.
Or maybe I did have a tailer as well.
That would have been a great double.
Yeah, it was awesome. Mate, this is a lot of fun. Whoa, mate, that's solid.
Yeah. This time, I didn't even get to close the bail arm before I was hooked up.
Wow.
They ate on the drop.
Is that a salmon or a tailor?
Not sure yet.
Just got to get this hook out.
Salmon.
Salmon. I'm going to let this guy go. Oh, you got your one. I'm going to put this guy back in. I reckon if I toss a bait in there again, I think I know what's going to happen. Steve, since Braid came into being, you've been using it a lot. So do you want to tell me a bit about it?
Yeah, look, I probably use Braid for 98% of my fishing these days. I just love it. I love the fact that it's so thin for its strength, so it casts really well, cuts down through the water, cuts through the wind. But what I like most about it is the sensitivity, the way you can feel absolutely everything that's happening out there. Now, the downside of that is you can pull hooks and straighten hooks and break lines if you go too hard on a fish when you hook them, because it really is immediate direct contact. So it's a trade-off. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with using mono, but it is a little bit thicker for the same strength, and it does have that stretch factor. But that's probably some of the things you like about it, the stretch in particular.
It is forgiving, especially for people who are just starting their fishing journey. There's that little bit of stretch, and like you mentioned, the braid is very rigid. And if you don't allow the rod to, do some of the work and act as that kind of spring, you can pull hooks out of fish's mouths because it's so tight.
Absolutely, and it's probably why I like longer, softer rods for this kind of fishing. I like to have my shock absorption built into my rod, but of course I also use quite a long leader. I'm using about a rod to a rod and a half length of mono leader, so that does give me a little bit of spring.
Steve, I think what you've said about having a longer, whippier rod, that definitely makes a big difference. And how awesome is it when you can feel absolutely everything?
Well, it changed. I never used to like beach fishing. When I was a kid, I could never tell whether I was getting a bite or it was a wave on the line or a crab playing with my bait or whatever. As soon as I changed to braid, you can just about feel and breathe on it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people when they start beach fishing also is, how do you know the difference between a wave breaking and a fish biting? There's a lot of water movement, there's a lot of crashing, all sorts of things happening. So I think braid definitely helps with that. And if you couple it with the right outfit, I think, you know, that's a good recipe, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm going to shoot my bait back out there.
Okay.
Oh! Wow!
Whoa, what's that?
I don't know, but it just whacked it so hard.
I better get out of your way.
Woo. It's got to be a salmon.
I've got a fish as well. I don't know. Hopefully I haven't got you.
No, I don't think you have. So the thing that I love about braid is how you can feel everything that's going on out there. Because it's got virtually zero stretch, you feel everything. But the downside of that is that you can pull hooks, you can straighten hooks, you can break lines. You've got to be a little bit careful and a bit soft-handed when you get a fish on. Perhaps use a slightly lighter than normal drag and a longer and softer rod than you normally would with mono. But it's got a lot of advantages going with braid. I love it on the beach. Woohoo! It's a salmon.
Hey Steve, it's a double bunger.
This guy wanted it, I tell you, he absolutely nailed it. I think he's a keeper, he's got it down. That's the size I like eating them at.
Beautiful.
Yeah.